Hi ladies, and welcome to today's video when we are going to be planning for the month of March. We're going to be planning for our house, things that we need to do as far as cleaning, organizing, decluttering, anything to do with our work. So any projects we have to work on, any trainings. I'm also going to do a little bit of planning or setting my goals for the month for my side business. And then the last category that I have that I use for myself is self-care/family. So for self-care, I like to do things that, personal development, anything that I just want to do for myself. So the book I want to read, things of that nature. And then for family, anything like family events, any traditions, since Easter is coming up soon, maybe we want to do some traditions leading up to it, and just anything we want to do as a family. So today is the last weekend of February, so I like to sit down at the beginning of the month or at the end of the month and plan for the month ahead. It's not very intense planning. I just kind of want to have an idea of what I want to accomplish, what I want to concentrate on. I find it that I accomplish more if I plan it out instead of if I just try to wing it and let's see what I can get done. Usually I am just very overwhelmed and I don't know where to start and nothing gets done. So we're gonna start with looking at what we did last month, just do a quick review, see if any of the goals that were not accomplished, if we need to move them to the next month. And then we're just gonna think about what we wanna do in March. So we're gonna get into a video in a second, but before we do, let me introduce myself in case you are new here. My name is Marta. I am a full-time working mom of two. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I have a full-time job. So I am your typical working mom who is working 40 hours a week. I also have a side business, and I believe that time management plays a huge role in what we get done and finding that life balance that works for us. So on my channel, you're gonna find a lot of content about house management and time management for working moms. So if this is something you are interested in, make sure that you subscribe down below, hit that notification button, and let's get into the video. So what I use is Erin Condren's Life Planner. I use the vertical spread, so that means that I have my days divided vertically. So I have some videos on how I plan my weeks ahead. If you're interested, I'm going to include a couple down below. But today we are planning for the month of March. So the first thing that I want to do is take a look back at February and see what things I have accomplished and what I need to move to the next month. So those were I kind of divided it last month into a few different sections, the sections I just talked about. So for household, I have done basically everything except the passports. So we have to renew 2 of our passports, and that was the goal I had in January. That was the goal I had in February. So maybe third month is a charm. So I'm gonna move definitely that one to the month of March. This section right here is where I just have some quotes from the book I'm reading, and I'm reading Believe It by Jamie Kern Lima. It's a really, really awesome book. Highly recommend it. I think about 60% done with it. So I'm gonna continue with that book in March as well. I am not gonna start a new one. I'm gonna let myself really fully read this one before moving to something else. But the goals over here, I had some for work, for my side business, and for family. And as you can see, I didn't accomplish all of them, and that is fine. This is not meant to be stressing me out. This is just meant for me to be able to know what my priorities are. So there are plenty of other things that I have done everywhere, but this just kind of helps me to keep focused. So we're gonna now move to March and copy anything that we haven't done that we want to do. This section over here, which is like a monthly spread, a calendar, those are the tapes, so that doesn't come with it. So the month basically looks like this. But I like to use this for planning my content for, what blogs I'm gonna write, what videos I'm gonna create. So that's what I use it for. So I'm not gonna do this in this video, but just so you know how I use this portion. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our goals for the month of March. And through everywhere else, I like to use erasable pens when I'm doing my weekly planning, but because things change all the time. But for monthly planning, because it's not something that's set in stone, If I don't do it, I can always move it to the next month. I'm just gonna use my regular pen. So the first thing we're gonna do is for household. Those goals are gonna go over here. I like how I did it last month. I'm gonna do the same spread. So for the household, what I like to do is I have this deep cleaning list that I use every single month. I'm sorry, not every single month. I use it every quarter. So for each quarter, I kind of have the same list and I try to do as much as I can from it. And then the next quarter, I kind of start fresh. And if there is something I didn't finish, I try to start with that item next week. That's just kind of the system I have for my deep cleaning of the house. I'm going to include the video down below in case you want to check it out. But I'm going to look at this list right now, see if there is anything that I actually have done but haven't crossed it off. And I don't think well, actually I did. I did my kids' closets. I did this one. And I cleaned up my email account. I don't know if you guys understand how huge of an accomplishment that was. My email for my personal email was absolutely out of control. So that one is definitely done. And then I'm gonna see what I want to concentrate on in the month of March. So what I would like to do is basically take care of the kitchen. All the things I have left in the kitchen, I want to do that. I want to do that before Easter, which means I have to do it in the month of March. Since Easter is the first weekend in April, that's what I want to do. So I definitely want to take care of the kitchen. And I also would really like to do a command center. I want to buy some like an organization cubby. I don't even know what to call it, but something for the command center to make it neater. And I want to move it to the other side of the kitchen. So it kind of falls along with the kitchen area. I really want to tackle that this month. So as you can see, those are not like huge things. The fridge and freezer are big ones over here. The rest of them are basically a few minutes of work, except the stovetop, which actually stovetop I already did. So I can cross that off the list. And I think I'm gonna maybe attempt to do the bathroom. I don't know. I'm kind of debating between the bathroom and the master bedroom because I really want to organize my closet. At the same time, I don't want to overdo it. So for now, I'm just gonna leave the kitchen and I'm gonna do the bathroom. Now this is the last month I have for this in this quarter, so I will probably attempt to do as much, but another thing that I want to do is we live in the Chicago area and it is really starting to look like spring. I know it's way too early, but it makes me think about our garden, our vegetable garden, flowers, all that kind of stuff. So what I want to put over here is do some research on the garden, especially what we want to do this year. My daughter really wants to do like a butterfly garden. So to attract more butterflies to our either backyard or front yard, so I want to do that research. If you want to go out, we can go out. You can hide away just for one night. But if you want to cry, just let it out. I'm by your side. And the second one I put over here is a veggie garden because I want to decide whether or not I'm going to do any vegetables from the seeds or if I'm going to buy them and plant them like I did last year. So that is another thing I put on the list over here. Over here is my space for any holidays, any birthdays, anything of that nature that will go over here. We don't have any significant, I would say, events planned as of right now. So what I will put over here is I will put on the 8th is International Women's Day. And I'm gonna put it on the 20th. We have spring, and if we get more things over here, I will definitely put them on as well. Here is the spot when I put a quote for the month. And the quote is, "Your intuition is more powerful than anyone else's advice." I think that's applicable to any area of your life, especially as women. We do talk about having that women's intuition. And that's just a reminder that just go with your gut. Go with what you believe in your heart. So over here, this is where I put quotes from the book. So I'm just gonna continue with Jamie. Anything, as you can see in the previous month, I did have quite a bit of quotes from her, and I know I'm gonna have more because that book is just full of really good advice. So that's where that's gonna go. What I'm gonna do now is flip over here, and that's when I'm gonna put some goals for my work. I know you can be brave, brave, brave. I know we did you wrong, wish I could take your pain away, 'cause I hate seeing tears streaming down your face. I know you're strong, won't feel this way for long, no. If you wanna go out, we can go out. We can hide away just for one night. But if you wanna cry, just let it out. I'm by your side now. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. Deep down, I know you're strong. Give them hell, baby, prove them wrong. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. I know you'll get up again. Better stand up tall, I know you can be brave, 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 brave. I know you can be brave, 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 brave. Okay, so it's very simple. I didn't overthink it. This is again not meant to have an all-inclusive list, but I do find it helpful to have some focused main priorities for the month of March. So I have quite a few of projects at work that I want to work on and prioritize this month. For my side business is nothing too actually outside of what I typically do, except that digital product that I was supposed to finish last month and I did not. And that product is basically, I'm trying to put together or finalize, I should say, a home management binder. So basically things like, your deep cleaning list and your routine. So I have everything in one spot, and that's something I need, finalize for myself, but I also want to put it on my Etsy shop as well. And for family, I just put, Easter decorations. I need to put also like Easter traditions. So, anything like crafts, things of that nature. So I'm gonna edit over here. And since it's getting warmer, I want to make sure we play more outside. Our kids have been actually playing quite a bit outside. Even when it was ridiculously cold, they love the snow. So they spent quite a bit of time outside, but now that it's getting warmer, I want to go out there with them. I really don't like cold. So they were playing mostly by themselves or with their cousins, and I would just kind of supervise from our house. But I want to make sure I spend more time with them outside. I also want to bring back our walks on the weekend. It was way too cold and slippery and just not safe during the winter months. But now, again, because it's getting warmer, I kind of want to start walking and get that tradition of, finding flowers and signs of spring. My typical, baths that I do every weekend, and reading a book for pleasure, and then family movie and Easter traditions, like I said. So plenty of, fun things. I don't know what it is, but spring is coming and I just feel way more energized. But that's basically a very simplistic plan for the month. So that is basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you find it that simplistic, a very simplistic way of planning for the month ahead is helping. I don't know if you do it as well, but let me know in the comments. I just find it for myself whenever I have those high priorities or just, things I want to accomplish next month written down. One, it really brings me back every week that I plan. I go back to this monthly spread and see, okay, those were my things I wanted to accomplish in this month. What do I need to concentrate on this week to make sure that I do it? So that really helps me. And it also helps me to focus, because if I don't have that focus, I tend to be all over the place and basically nothing gets done. Or like I start something, a little bit gets done, and I get distracted with something else. This way I have a list, those are my priorities, and I try to just accomplish as much as I can. Again, not meant to be restrictive, that, this is something you have to do, but it helps to, accomplish more as you have time for it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some motivation, some ideas on how to take this simplistic approach to plan for the month ahead in the different categories of your life. Obviously, your categories can be different. Mine are what you saw in this video. If you have different ones or if you have more, just simply add them to your list and set up some goals for yourself, some priorities. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.